Hey everybody, it's me Hetty, and we're going to try to get through another video. I've been trying to work on my energy and everything, and my voice comes and goes some days. I'm still having trouble, but I'm still having some coughing issues and that kind of stuff. So anyway, I appreciate y'all bearing with me so much. This is a remake of an old video. The old video is almost 8 years old, and it's the same recipe, but I'm updating it and everything else. So anyway, it's a really good one. So I've just got a medium heat on here, on the high side, but still medium. And I've got about 3.5 tablespoons of just oil. I wanted to use corn oil, but I couldn't get it down, and the kids are working and everything, and I didn't have anybody to help me. So I'm gonna let that get heated for a minute, and I'm gonna go over what else I have, okay? So as always, you know, the recipe will be down below, and I'm just going to leave the old one up. It's been up that long. It didn't get that many views. Well, I mean, it has, but anyway, I am updated. So without getting all into the weeds, this is about 3.5 tablespoons of flour, just all-purpose, AP. It's known as AP flour, and it's known as AP flour, and I'm just using that. And I've got 2 cups of just chicken broth. I just used my soup base, and I think I'm gonna test this. Yeah, it's good enough. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in. While I'm going over the other ingredients, let me stir this up and get it going. I'm just gonna let it go for a couple of minutes. Let me look at my watch. Okay. Good thing about this enchilada sauce is if you're planning for the week, you can make this up. I'll put a note down in the description too, under the recipe, but you can make this up ahead of time and just, you know, do like I do. I just put it in a mason jar, and then, not that one in particular, but because I had some knives in it, but one like it. And then you just put it in the fridge, and this is really good. I'm not saying I never use canned red sauce, because that would not be the truth, but I do like to make my own when I'm able. I've been missing y'all something terrible. Okay, now back to going over the ingredients. I have got about 2.5 tablespoons of chili powder. And in here I have a rounded tablespoon of just paprika, and over here I have a teaspoon of sugar, and I just put it over that. It's kind of hiding it, but that is just 1 teaspoon of sugar and a rounded tablespoon of just paprika, smoked or just regular Spanish, doesn't matter. And also I have, in this bowl, I have 1.5 rounded teaspoons of cumin, and I have had to stir that really quick. I was running my mouth, didn't want to get sidetracked. Okay, also here I have 1.5 teaspoons of cumin, just kind of rounded. I have 1.5 teaspoons of just granulated garlic, and I have 3/4 teaspoon of salt, which I can of course adjust at the end. Then I already told y'all about my sugar, and that's it. Once in a blue moon, if I want to stretch it or something, I will add about 8 ounces of tomato sauce in there, or I'll add just a tablespoon or so of paste, and then add just a little water to thin it down a little bit. And this will thicken on you, and all you have to do is just add a few tablespoons of water when you're heating it up, and whisk it in, and that'll be fine. So this is looking good. We're going to go about 1 more minute. So to cut down on time, I'll just bring you back when I'm going to throw the spices in, okay? I'll see you then. Okay, y'all, that minute's gone by, so in everything's gonna go. First, my chili powder, my sugar and my paprika, cumin, salt, and the garlic powder. This is gonna seem pretty thick. I'm whisking this in together. Seems awful dry, but don't worry. Remember, we got that chicken broth, and that's what we're gonna use. And I'm gonna go ahead and start adding some of that in so I can whisk. This is so easy to make. Like I said, there is nothing wrong with, and it'll keep for several days in the fridge. I'll double check that about how long you can go if you do prep on the weekend. That way you could plan your meals accordingly. Now that I've got that, I'm gonna go ahead and just pour the rest of this in. And then start whisking. It's going to have to get hot again. Anyway, Wondercade, I hope you can hear me. Wondercade, 10-4, 10-4. Shout out to you. Listen, thank you so much for catching that. That was so embarrassing. I pulled my last video down. I was so sick. I had zero business trying to make a video, but I was trying to get something out for y'all. I said, oh, I can do this. Well, I had ordered Ancho chilies to be delivered. And guess what? They came. The kids put everything up for me because I was still really down. I'm still having really bad days, but I'm pushing y'all. I've told y'all that a million times. Y'all know I'm not going to give up. So I'm sitting down to cook this, and I'm at my hey-heady table, but that's all right. I'm getting it done, aren't I? All right. Well, anyway, Wondercade, thank you so much for catching that. I kept thinking when I was making the video, even though I was talking, I was thinking to myself, something's not right. And normally I would have caught it before I ever started, but guess what? I had ordered Ancho chili, so I told the kids that it should be a new unopened pack, blah, blah, blah. Well, they had gotten into them, and they had chopped them up for something they were making. So the label wasn't on there anymore, but I knew that's what I had ordered. So anyway, I'm going to reshoot that video, but yeah. I bumped the camera, y'all. Anyway, Wondercade and anybody else that caught it, that is embarrassing. I took the video down. I'm going to reshoot it because a lot of times I'll do them about a week apart. But anyway, they were Guajillo peppers. You are correct. The New Mexico chilies. And I also do them, but I had never made a video for it. So I knew better. But y'all, I'm so run down. I just wasn't with it. So that's why, y'all, I just took another... It's been, a couple of weeks since I did that one. And I took it down. I'm just going to redo it. No trouble to it because you should know how to do this yourself. And I'm just trying to teach y'all. Even if you never do it, at least you know how to. That's what I try to share with y'all. And y'all know a lot of times I'm not able to do things. I'll use something canned when normally back in the day, I would have made it all myself, you know. So I'm just, sometimes, I tell y'all many times, don't I? I live by that. Pick your battles. So anyway, as you can see this, I'm just simmering this. I've cut my heat down. I'm just on just like a medium now. Not a medium high at all, just medium. And I'm going to let this simmer for just a couple of more minutes. And believe it or not, I'll taste it for spices, but I know it'll be right. I've made this recipe for too long. And speaking of the Guajillo or the because it's in between. It's less than jalapeno pepper, but maybe a little more than an ancho. But they all have wonderful, wonderful flavors. And throw you a teaspoon or something of that in there if you've got it. It's delicious. And I'm going to remake, years and years ago, I made cheese enchiladas and I made beef enchiladas. And sometimes I make them with flour tortillas and sometimes I make them with corn tortillas. So anyway, that's what we're going to have. I'm actually making this a day ahead of time because next time I'm going to make Spanish rice. Can you tell my husband's been on a Tex-Mex kick lately? So we go through stages. Does y'all's family do that? Where you'll get on a kick where, like, maybe in the summer you're eating sandwiches a couple times a week, or you'll have, you know, I don't know, more spaghetti for a while or more chili for a while, or we do that. But anyway, yeah, I'm just going along and making it. Now I'm going to tell y'all, after this cools down, now this is done. Look at that, just that quick. And this was real time. The only time I edited it out was just that 1 minute cooking that flour off. So actually I'm going to pause this, and this is going to cool down before I jar it up. And because I don't want to put anything hot into the jar and then put it straight to the fridge, I want it to cool down. Now, it can, as it cools down, you may or may not, there might be just a little old film on top. Like an ultra thin skin. And you could just pull it off with a wooden spoon or just a spoon. And it's going to look just like this underneath. And there's nothing wrong with that. I've even, sometimes when it's really thin, I can just whisk it back in and you never even see it. So anyway, when this cools down, I'm going to jar it up and then I'll show you the finished product. Okay, I'll see you in a little bit. Alrighty, y'all, this isn't all the way cooled down. It's still on the warm side, but I'm just going to let this jar sit for a little bit. But I wanted to show you, this is kind of what I'm talking about. See this little bitty, this is very thin. I could actually, this is still so warm, I can just fork this, use a fork as a whisk and just whisk it back in. And it won't matter because when I'm ready to use this tomorrow, it's going to thicken up as it's refrigerated. And I am going to add a few tablespoons of water, and, you know, before I either nuke it in the bowl or put it in a saucepan. So anyway, this is all I do. So I'm not worried about that skin. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just that where it thickened on top. So don't be silly about that. Nothing to it. As a matter of fact, look, you can just see that one little piece that was right there. And if I kept whisking, it'd be gone. But I don't worry about it because I'll worry about it tomorrow when I'm going to use it. And this recipe makes right at 2 cups. So if you want to make some extra up, because sometimes I do beef enchiladas and cheese at the same time, so I will double it. But I only need just the one for tomorrow. And then I'm just going to get all that in there. Boom. There you have it. Delicious enchilada sauce. We're going to use it in the next video or the next video after that, depending on what order. I do want to show y'all a tidbit, and I might make that the next video. I'm going to show you how, you know, everybody's broke nowadays. I mean, almost $9 for an 18 count of eggs. Are you kidding me? So yeah, they can say what they want to. I know my grocery bill has almost doubled, and I'm a really good shopper. So anyway, when you have to do that on a budget for many years, you get to where you can do it. But anyway, that's it for this one. Enchilada sauce, y'all. Delicious. I tasted some. And you can tweak it to your liking. Like I said, add you some Guajillo chili powder or some Ancho chili powder or a little of each till you get the flavor you want. And it just enhances it. It adds a little different, just a little bit of depth of flavor in there, having several chili powders in there. And that way you're not making it too hot for everybody to enjoy. Okay, I love y'all. And I'll see you in the next video. And I can't believe my voice is, for the most part, holding out. All right, I'll see y'all in a little bit. Bye.